Hey everybody, welcome back to the Highland Fox. Today we're here to talk about the Qatar Grand Prix.
Yay! Well, I don't know if yay is the right word since everyone was getting sick.
Yeah, that was nuts.
It was a fun race, I thought, relatively.
Yeah.
Well, first off, congrats to Max.
Yeah.
He won the championship yesterday after the sprint. But
Yeah, on the Saturday, because I don't know when this is going up.
Yeah, so
But
he won on Saturday.
Yep.
But he won his third world championship. So congrats. The last time someone won on a Saturday
was Nelson Piquet, and he's dating his daughter. Or married to his daughter.
He's dating.
Dating his
Yeah,
daughter.
Max is dating Nelson Piquet's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of a fun little side fact. But he all he needed was 3 points in the rest of the year to win. So he was kind of guaranteed his third title. But he got it in the sprint race. So he won on Saturday and then had a new helmet ready to go that said 3-time world champion on it for Sunday.
Yeah. Exciting stuff. So does he just take the rest of the year off? Like go relax?
I think he should, to save Red Bull the budget money from like transportation and damage and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, he went out and won another race. So
yeah. And then afterwards he's like, yeah, we're just going to keep trying hard. I'm like, why? Stop. We're dead already. But I mean, he did really good today.
Does he lose another race? Does he, like, San's got that one on him. Does he lose another race this season?
We don't really have that many left, so probably not.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But I mean, he's out there having fun doing what he does, so whatever. And now he can go out there and just have fun.
Do literally whatever.
Yeah, so good for him, man.
Yeah. Other good news, if you're McLaren fans, you guys have went from dead to about to take over Aston in fourth and really challenging Ferrari for third.
Yeah. So I think like over the last few races, they came with some upgrades that just revolutionized the team.
Really did.
And Piastri got his first win on Saturday. It's a win.
It is a win.
Yeah.
It's more wins than I have.
That is very true.
Not saying much.
It's a sprint race, but he still got his first win. And then today was another podium for McLaren.
Double podium.
Double podium for McLaren. Piastri got second. I think he did phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
His pace was excellent.
Yep.
I thought he, as far ahead as Max has been, Piastri was what, 5
seconds.
Yeah.
5 seconds behind Verstappen at the checkered flag.
And like Lando was only 1.3.
Yep.
Behind Piastri. So McLaren actually like put the heat on Red Bull.
Well, they really did, because Max got a call mid-race that was like, hey, you need to pick up the pace. Like, we're worried about all these situations. So Red Bull actually had to do a real strategy to protect Max.
I know the strategist has probably just been like, oh, great.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
But
so I think McLaren had a phenomenal race today. This weekend they did great.
Yep.
And then just watching them over the past few races has been super fun, because like you said, at the beginning of the season it was like, who are you?
1920. Just 18-19.
Terrible. And to see Lando back to where I think he can be, and like Piastri, a rookie driver, like insane. So I think McLaren just, they look so good.
What was another unique thing about the strategy this race?
Those tires, you guys. You had to pit and change your tires after 18 laps on the tires.
Didn't matter if it was soft, medium, or hard. It was
mandatory.
It was mandatory. You had to pit at 18 laps. So it made it interesting because like everyone was switching spots all of the time. So you kind of lose track, because it was a mandatory 3-stop race.
So like, I think it was Leclerc who started the race with 7-lap old tires already. So I was like, you're going to have to pit on lap 2 now. Like, what?
Yeah.
So it was really weird. However, I think by the last time everyone pit, you started remembering, like, Piastri was like the first one to pit of everyone, and I think Max and Zhao were the last.
Yep.
So you're like, okay, once Piastri starts, and then Max and Zhao will pit,
At
there
the end
you
of it.
go.
Yep.
Like, you got your bracket of drivers where they pit. Yep. So it was interesting, but then at times I was like, okay, here we go again.
Yeah.
So
it was like the 05, it was 05, the Indy race, Indianapolis 500, where, Bridgestone and Michelin had that problem where they couldn't run on the tracks. Only Ferrari and like 2 other teams could run, and it was a giant cluster. Yeah. It was kind of like that, where like Pirelli was not ready for this track. for some reason, and the FIA was like, the tires can't sustain it.
Yeah. And I think it was on Qual, they were talking about when you had to pit with the tires. And on Friday, they said, like, softs were going to last maybe 20 laps.
Yep.
Mediums, you could get about 22 laps. And I was like, oh, wow, that's not very much. And then today, they're like, yep, 18 laps and you're done. So super weird, but... I mean, it fed into just, I think, Qatar as a whole track.
Yeah.
Because I think if you were listening, Lawson retired early. Or, sorry, Sargent, Logan Sargent.
Yeah, Logan Sargent
retired early because he was not doing good. He was...
Looked like he was going to pass out.
Yeah, I was like, he's going to pass out and just drive that car right off the road.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Albon. Ocon threw up in his helmet on lap 15. Which, could you imagine? I want everyone to picture that for a moment. You're trapped in that helmet in like 100-degree heat, or like, what was it, 30 degrees Celsius or whatever it is.
It was 50.
Oh, it was 50.
50 degrees Celsius
and you throw up in your helmet, and then you still have 40 laps left.
I choose death. I'm good.
No.
I'm good.
And then Albon and Stroll couldn't get out of the car at the end of it. Stroll had to go to the emergency, like the ambulance.
Medical bay, yeah.
Leclerc almost passed out during the media
interview.
Max laid on the ground in his podcast and said, "I'll see you tomorrow," and like closed his eyes.
Yeah, he asked for a wheelchair.
Yeah, he asked for a wheelchair. Piastri was laying on the ground. Who else?
Lando, Leclerc, and Bottas said it was the hardest race they've ever had.
And this is right after Singapore, which is supposed to be because you have the heat and the humidity. But something was going on in Qatar, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, I know the track conditions were crazy, where the tires couldn't handle it, and then the drivers couldn't either. So it was.
You know who did surprisingly well with the conditions were Sainz and Hamilton.
They did seem to handle the weather very good. You're so mean. Sainz had a fuel leak problem, so he did not start the race.
So he sat in the air conditioning.
And then Hamilton, he's probably like, oh no.
Yeah.
Darn. And
Hamilton yeeted himself in the first turn.
Yeah, racing incident, but he just kind of closed off Russell had nowhere else to go, and then they collided, and Hamilton just yeet across the sand.
But before you knew what happened and you just watched Hamilton and Russell spinning off, I went back to like 2016 Nico.
I know, you were like, it's Nico again.
I'm like, this is it. The relationship's over. And then you watch the replay and Hamilton's like, yeah, my bad. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I know. And their interviews were just so nice about each other. Like, we didn't know we had no other options, but we love each other and the team. I'm like, boo. Where's the drama? But
Netflix, if you guys were watching the race, there's a slow motion video of Hamilton like with his head down, like walking backwards, and Russell like goes right behind him, and that is going to be every trailer of every Netflix.
It is beautiful.
I was
like,
cold.
Whoever got that scene, I'm like, you deserve a race, sir.
It's equivalent of when the two Ferraris, after they won in Bahrain 1-2, drove by Checo. It's that good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But then Russell got a little bit of damage, had to pit, come back, and finished in fourth.
Yeah. Crazy. He did an extra pit stop.
His pace was on point. He was smart. I think Russell did fantastically for where he started in the back and had to work his way up front. And then you see him. I mean, everyone was doing it, but like how fast he was going. He kept having to lift up his visor to let air in. At
one point, he literally Russell took his hands off the wheel going like 100, 200 miles an hour. And he literally just has his hands like this. Just steering to try to get air like up his sleeves and into his face, and he's literally like steering this car like this with his wrists.
Yeah, I can't even do that when it's like 45 miles here.
No,
like,
no. There's no way. These dudes are incredible. How good they are at this.
I know. If anyone ever thought that F1 drivers aren't athletes, like this entire race experience was like, nope, you got it, honey. Yeah, you got it.
And it's crazy too because they're pulling more G's than I pulled in the military.
Yeah,
like
I know. Could you imagine like having to pass out and then pull 6 Gs?
Right.
No.
This race was nuts.
Yeah. And like a lot of passing.
Well, yeah, because the field was all mixed up because of the weird pit stops. So that everybody was passing everybody. It was really interesting.
Lots of off-track penalties. Oh my gosh.
Of course.
Black and white checkered flags everywhere.
It almost cost Russell fourth.
Yeah.
He had
and
a black and white flag.
Checo was supposed to be ninth, but I think he got another penalty at the end, so he finished 10th.
So how does that work? I know we're probably running long on time, but like, how does that work that Max is dominating so bad, and then Checo just can't even finish in the points? And Russell started behind him.
Yeah.
Sergio's got the better car. Sergio didn't finish in the points. Russell finished fourth.
I don't know. I don't
Good
know.
talk. Does Liam Lawson take Perez's seat in 25?
I don't know. I feel like Lawson might deserve a seat, but De Vries also was like a reserve driver, pointed left, then they hired him. Now, of course, it was Helmut Marko who was like, nah, get rid of him like halfway through the year. So did he get enough time?
That doesn't sound like Red Bull. They don't get rid of drivers halfway through the year.
Yeah, okay. So I do think Lawson deserves a chance. I'm sure Aston Martin could make a spot for him there, but whatever. That's a whole other.
That's why we got to finish, because we are running long. But that's where we got to finish. Did Stroll? So in his qualifying, Stroll did really bad.
Yeah.
And there's a video of him, and this is absolute rumor. I did not see it. I saw the video, but you can't really tell what's going on. Is he frustrated and punched a wall, or did he push his trainer?
I
really
either way, believe that he punched a wall, because I just
Either way, does he deserve a seat anymore?
Okay, well, that regardless, like his driving doesn't deserve a seat. So I'm sorry, that's rude, but it's the truth.
And I hate the paid driver. Everyone's like, well, Niki Lauda was a paid driver. Okay, Niki Lauda won 3 world titles. So, like, Mazepin was a paid driver, too. So, like, what are we doing here? Latifi was a paid driver.
Go Tiffy.
Go Tiffy.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard a lot of things that were like, he did not hit his trainer.
Yeah.
So I'm
and Aston hasn't said anything. I feel like they would have.
Yeah. So he probably just hit a wall, but like it looked so bad.
It does not look good.
And like his attitude after the race, and like I know he doesn't like how he's doing, but do better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Your teammate is doing better. Same with Checo. Like your teammates are doing better.
Right.
In equal machinery.
Yep.
So
yeah, lots going on in this race. Ever since summer break, man, it's been exciting. I don't know, everything's been all amped up. Summer break must have gotten everybody fired up.
I'm liking it.
Because we got Austin next. That's 2 weeks from now. Bring it to America. Logan Sargent on some home soil again. Hopefully can do a little bit better. And then we only got a couple more races left.
I know. This season started off like,
man.
Okay, congrats, Max, on race 2. Like, we know you're going to win. But yeah, after summer break, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. See you next week.